Welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. The camera's a little off, but whatever, I don't got time to mess with it. Welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks for UFC Fight Night 42. It's going to be a good one. Be sure to check out the video I did yesterday on some prelim fights, and I got some more prelim fights for you today. How exciting, right? These are not in any particular order, but I do believe they are all still prelim fights. I mean, they changed the order on me from the day I started doing my research, so that's why the order is messed up. And then I changed it a little bit because I wanted to. Like, this is the curtain opener. I should have did it yesterday, but I'm gonna do it today. So anyway, let's get on with this. Okay, at light heavyweight, we've got the African Savage, Kennedy Nzechukwu, taking on Dawun Zhang. Okay, Kennedy Nzechukwu. This is a coin flip fight. The odds are minus 115, minus 105. Kennedy Nzechukwu was, if you caught him early, he was the underdog. Opened up at plus 120. So money's been coming in on him. Dawun Zhang was at a minus 140. So if you're on that side, it's looking more favorable because now it's down to a minus 115, a little less juice you got to put on for that favorite. Okay, Kennedy Nzechukwu fighting out of 4-7. He's coming off a nice win against Danilo Marquez. He's actually 4-1 in his last 5, chalking up some nice wins. His only loss was in his UFC debut against Paul Craig. No shame in that. Paul Craig triangle choked him round 3, but hey, Paul Craig's a beast. He could triangle choke pretty much anybody in the light heavyweight division. Okay, Dawun Zhang on the other side. Also, well, this is the thing with Dawun Zhang. He's 4-0-1 in his last 5. He's coming off a win against William Knight, which is a pretty dominant unanimous decision victory for Dawun Zhang. However, before that, he had, I don't know if it was right before, I think it was right before that, he had a real shady draw with Smiling Sam Alvey, which I picked him on that fight, but to be honest with you, I think Sam Alvey got robbed. I think Sam Alvey should have got the nod, should have got the decision in that one. Dawun Zhang maybe won one of those 3 rounds. Sam Alvey won the other 2. Yeah, that definitely, I think, I don't know, it should have been like maybe a split decision for Sam Alvey. I could see how, I don't know, it was a draw, but personally, when I judged it, when I watched it with Vlad, I picked Sam Alvey. I thought for sure Sam Alvey was going to spoil my parlay, but because it was a draw, I was just taken out of it. So be it. Dawun Zhang. Okay, Dawun Zhang's fighting out a Korean top team. Like I said, he is 4-0-1. He has a pretty good reach deficit. Kennedy Nzechukwu has got a 1-inch height and a 4.5-inch reach advantage, which means 2.25 inches more on each arm. Okay, it's 4.5 combined, not 4.5 on one arm. That'd be a 9-inch reach advantage. That's a little bit crazy, but anyway, they're both very close in age. Nzechukwu is 29, Dawun Zhang's 27. We're gonna start with the slight favorite in Dawun Zhang. Let's see what 14-2-1. Not a bad professional record. Kennedy Nzechukwu, a pro record of 9-1. But we are going to start with the slight favorite here in Dawun Zhang. We've got Leighton from UFC Gambling Addicts siding with the Korean here in Dawun Zhang. Then we got James Lynch, interviewer extraordinaire. I'm not sure if he interviewed. He does a whole playlist of who he's interviewed on the card. Check out his playlist for UFC Vegas 42 interviews. And everybody on this card that he's interviewed will be on that playlist. Check it out. There's a lot of good quality information you can gather from those interviews. A lot of hot takes, a lot of stuff you won't get from just listening to cappers. That's why I try to fit those interviews in. And the pro picks. The pro picks are fun, even though the pros really don't know what's going on when they make their picks. I've seen them overwhelmingly lose. I mean, being a fighter and being a handicapper is different. Look at like Chael Sonnen, look, for example. He's horrible at picking fights. Anyway, James Lynch is taking Dawun Zhang, but he'll even admit he is not a predictor, he is a interviewer. So he prefers not, he still does it every week, in and out, but he always puts a disclaimer. There's a lot of better handicappers than me out there, and he drops names too. Okay, anyway, I like him, and he's taking Dawun Zhang, I meant. Okay, then we've got MMA fortune teller out of Florida, right down the road from American Top Team. The teller is taking Dawun Zhang. Then we've got a couple splits. Okay, we got the stat diggers. That's DFS by the numbers and Wheezy, both split on this, which is they don't usually differentiate on their picks. But yeah, who we got? DFS is taking Dawun Zhang, and he's saying by decision. However, contrarian stat diggers, I'm gonna write a little bit bigger. Wheezy, Uncle Wheezy, is taking Nzechukwu by decision. And I've heard Nzechukwu, he's very patient. He'll reserve his gas tank. And you watch his fights, and it holds true. Like, you watch Nzechukwu's fights, first round, he'll just measure the guy out, pretty much counter strike, very defensive. He wants to feel the fight out. Then round 2, he turns down a little bit more, and then by round 3, he's still got full gas tank. His opponent's been tired because they've been dropping full power punches, which Kennedy's been either absorbing or evading. And I've seen it. Watch a couple of his watch his fight against Danilo Marquez. Danilo Marquez gassed out. And the fight before that, who did he fight? Man, I should have took better notes, but I only got so much paper I can write on. But he did the same thing prior to Danilo. Do I have to pull up Tapology? I'm gonna have to, just because it's bugging my brain. But Nzechukwu is one of those types to reserve his tank, and then he'll go all out after midway through the second round, which is a good game plan. But I don't know if it's going to hold up against Dawun Zhang, because Dawun Zhang is a beast. Dawun Zhang I haven't seen his cardio really fade. Even I guess against Smiling Sam Alvey, he was kind of dead in the last round. But okay, here we go. Nzechukwu. Yeah, his fight against Carlos Ober. Well, that one was a quick knockout, And Darko Stosic. That was unanimous decision. Same thing though. Even though it was 2 years ago. He did the same type of game plan. Nzechukwu, he likes to use his gas tank as an advantage, but I don't know if it's going to work here against Dawun Zhang, the younger fighter. And it's just, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to out cardio Dawun Zhang. But also, finally, another split. We've got Pub Sports Radio. Pub Sports Radio, the Clint Diehard MMA podcast. Clint is on the side of Nzechukwu. However, his guest on the show, Tajik Bey, who looks like could be Jorge Masvidal's older, chubbier brother. Tajik B, Pub Sports Radio. Tajik Bey is saying by decision for Tajik there. So there you have it. A lot of ink on this board, but the majority of the cappers are taking Dawun Zhang in this. They just say he's got better all-around game. Like stand-up, Kennedy Nzechukwu got the reach. He should be able to outstrike him. But Dawun Zhang, he can box too. Not a bad boxer. And he's got some good all-around wrestling too. He's got some good wrestling. But Kennedy Nzechukwu's from 4 to 7 million. His takedown defense, I don't know the exact stats, but it's got to be pretty decent. And he's one of those, if he does get taken down, he pops right back up. He's one of those type of guys. So it could really go either way. But I'm going to fade Nzechukwu only because I don't like how he's a slow starter. And I like Dawun Zhang. I am a little bit biased being that I'm half Korean. But I'm going to take Dawun Zhang to get the victory here. I think he should edge out a decision. I don't know if Kennedy Nzechukwu is going to get finished. He does have a good gas tank, and that's what he uses. He did get choked out by Paul Craig, but I don't know if Dawun Zhang's got that type of submission expertise to give a submission to Nzechukwu. But you never know. Could happen. Anyway, I'm taking Dawun Zhang to get the victory here. I think probably by decision. Moving on. Next. Like I said, not in order, but we're going to go to the flyweight female fight between Courtney Casey, 500, 9-9 as a professional fighter. That's a 500 record. When you're not 1,000 would be perfect, and a 0 would be nothing, you know. And she's at 500. She's 9-9. She's taking on Liana Jojua, She-Wolf. Jojua, the Georgian, is 8-4 as a professional, but a lot of not so big names in her fight resume. Okay, let's talk about the favorite, heavy favorite, 9-9, cast iron Courtney Casey. This is a stay away from this type of fight. I'm telling you guys, 1-800 gambler this thing. Courtney Casey is the -235 favorite. Money's been coming in on Courtney Casey. That did start out at -210. Like I said, I didn't say, but she's coming off a split decision loss to JJ Aldrich, which isn't that bad. She's 2-3 in her last 5. Not a very good look, but she has faced some pretty good opposition in her last 5. Since I have Topology open, I'll read them real quick. I don't want to take too much time, but let's see. We've got, she beat Mara Borello, submission armbar, which is good. She has a loss to Jillian Robertson, and she has a loss to Cynthia Calvillo, who's, you know, also a pretty good name in the UFC. And she has in her last 5, she also has a win against Angela Overkill Hill. Calvillo beat her by unanimous decision. Calvillo is on this card, by the way. I ran her fight yesterday. She's due to win against Andrea Lee, in my opinion. But Courtney Casey's taking on Liana Jojua. Okay, Liana Jojua is coming off a loss to Miranda Maverick. She got pieced up, doctor stoppage from excessive bleeding in round 1. Before that, she beat Diana Belbita by, I think, some sort of was an armbar, leg. It was some sort of submission. I want to say armbar. And before that, though, she got beat by Sarah Moises, and that is not a good look. Sarah Moises, I think, beat her ground and pound. I didn't write it down, but I think she took care of business, ground and pound, I want to say round 2, I'm not sure, over the Georgian Liana Jojua. Okay, Jojua is the younger fighter here. She's at 26 years old, where Courtney Casey's 34. So I know some of you guys like to fade the older women in the 30s. But Jojua, though, does she? I mean, 8-4 plus 200, though. That's the thing. And Courtney Casey, you cannot put. You cannot take that. Minus 235, that's ridiculous. With a 500 record for cast iron Courtney Casey. However, you got to realize she is back in MMA lab. I guess her husband and her baby daddy, Jakar Close, had problems with some of the coaching over at MMA lab, so they had left for a hot minute. But then he smartened up and returned back to MMA lab. I think, I know Eddie Cha is the guy at Fight Ready, but I think he does also do some moonlighting over at MMA lab. But I know specifically Courtney Casey, if you check out her Instagram, there's pictures with her and Casey Kenny. Casey Kenny is roughly the same weight range. What is she at? Well, it's 125. I think Casey Kenny is more like a bantamweight 135. But they're close enough that he's probably makes a great training partner for Courtney Casey. Liana Jojua, I don't even know where she trains out of. She just, in her Instagram, she just has pictures of her like posing, like model shots and on the beach and stuff. Nothing really training. She does have a picture with her next to Khabib. But he's not even looking at her. He's looking straight at the camera. She's like maybe a foot behind him. Like it was kind of like a what are they? You know, like she jumped in the picture. She's like, take a picture when I get close to Khabib, because it's weird. Check it out. It's on Instagram for Liana Jojua. But anyway, let's see what these cappers have to say on this fight. Oh, by the way, Courtney Casey got a 3-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage over the younger Jojua. So, here we go. Taking Courtney Casey. We've got both the guys from Pub Sports Radio, Clint and Tajik Bey. Tajik is saying within distance. They're both taken, but I'm going to just write Tajik. Within distance. But Clint is also taking Casey. But stay away from, minus 235, stay away from this fight. That's my advice to you. Okay, then we've got James Lynch. He interviewed both these. No, he did not interview Jojua. He did interview Courtney Casey. That's where he found that inside scoop about the whole Jakar Close did not get along with the old coaching staff. But then he realized, you know, they fight better at MMA Lab, so that's why they return there, move their family back, all that good stuff. Both the stat diggers are on board with Courtney Cast Iron Casey. MMA Fortune Teller, the teller, MMA Fortune Teller, is also taking Courtney Casey. UFC Gambling Addicts Leighton is finishing it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 handicappers, making this a full capper consensus. A full capper consensus, if you didn't know, was when all the cappers pick the same side. I'm going to throw some good luck pearls out for all the bettors out there. But this, everybody should pick the same side. A minus 235 favorite in Courtney Casey. But I don't know. I think Liana Jojua is worth maybe a sprinkle hedge bet because it's female MMA. Anything can happen. But I don't like to go against the capper consensus, and I'm not gonna. This situation, I'm gonna side with the cappers here, and I'm also gonna take Cast Iron Courtney Casey. I like her move back to MMA Lab. Jojua, I think, is a little bit overrated. I don't think she's ready for the UFC. She's not quite UFC level. I think she's more like KSW. That's a Polish regional or one of something like that. She's better off hanging around in there for a little while, then maybe moving up to. She's still very young though. She's still got a lot of growth in her. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Cast Iron Courtney Casey here. Of course, the female fight, I'm going to take it by decision. Decision is what the bookies usually take here, too. It's minus 210 to go over 2.5 rounds. So there you have that. moving on. Now, this one, wide odds, but close picks, I'm going to tell you. Wide odds, but very close when it comes to capper picks here. We've got, this is a good fight, I'm telling you what. Lightweight showdown between Thiago Moises taking on Joel Alvarez out of Spain, El Finamino. Okay, Moises is 15-5. The line opened up at -225, but money's been dumping in on this guy. Moved the line wider to a -245. Joel Alvarez, 18-2, only 2 losses as a professional. He opened up at +180, but money's been coming in on Moises because now he's a +208. Like I said, the line widened out because money's been coming in on Thiago Moises. The more, I think, yeah, well, he's got more UFC experience, that's for sure. But anyway, let's get into this. We've got Thiago Moises, the heavy favorite, coming out of American Top Team. He is 26 years old. Joel Alvarez is 28, coming out of Spain. Gym unlisted, I don't know what facility he trains at, but he is from Spain. That's very interesting. He's like the only fighter I know from Spain. Okay. Thiago Moises is coming off a loss to Islam Makhachev, rear naked choke, round 4. Did I write that right? Round 4. That was a 5-round fight. Okay. Anyways, he is 3-2 in his last 5. He does have some. You know why he's got the wide odds? He's got some good wins. He beat Alexander Hernandez, Fluffy, by unanimous decision. He beat Bobby Green, who's coming off a nice win last week. He beat him by unanimous decision. And Michael Johnson, no longer in the UFC, but he ankle lock submitted him. They have a common opponent, Joel Alvarez and Thiago Moises, and they both lost. Their common opponent is Damir Ismagulov, however you want to say it. They both lost to Damir Ismagulov by unanimous decision. Joel Alvarez, his last win was against Alexander Yakovlev by armbar. He's also 4-1 in his last 5. He's never been knocked down, this guy. And get this, he's got a 6-inch height, 6.5-inch reach advantage as a +208 underdog. Woo! Man, tell me that's not attractive right there. Plus having a 1/2 foot reach, height and reach advantage. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see what the cappers have to say on this one. This one's going to be, like I said, it is kind of tight. Let's see. We've got, starting with the favorite, we've got James Lynch. I think he may have interviewed. I'm not sure. Check it out. Link to all these cappers will be, where I got this info, will be in the description. I'm not making this crap up. You can check them out. Then we've got MMA fortune teller taking Joel Alvarez as the nice underdog. We've got the stat diggers taking Moises, both of them DFS. Wheezy actually is not. He's not taking anybody. He's staying right clear of this. So I'm just going to write stat diggers DFS. That's Brady. Brady's the only one made to pick. Wheezy is staying away. Which, hey, I don't blame him. This is a fight could go either way. And -245. That's kind of disrespectful to Alvarez, being that he's 18-2. Then we've got UFC gambling addicts. Leighton also taking the underdog here in Alvarez. And what's good about Leighton's show, he doesn't look at the odds until after the fact. As he's doing this breakdown, then he tries to guess what the odds are as he makes his pick, and then he's like, I think the odds will probably be, and he was kind of close. He did have Moises as the favorite, but not that wide of a favorite. I forgot exactly what he said, but the link's in the description. Check him out. Worthy of a watch. He's definitely, all these guys are worthy of watching. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it on my show. Okay? Then where was I? Okay, we've got also taken Thiago Moises. We've got Pub Sports Radio, Clint. They're split again. Pub Sports Radio, Clint is taking Moises. However, Tajik Bey, Pub Sports Radio, Tajik, he was the special guest. I don't think Tajik Bey has his own channel. I know he's got Instagram and Twitter and all that, and he's a pretty good predictor, but I don't think he's got his own YouTube channel. But he's taken Alvarez by split decision. Interesting. Meaning, yeah, if you think it's going to go to split decision, take the dog, right? Plus 208. It could totally happen. So there you go. It's a tie when it comes to the capper. So I'm going to be the tiebreaker here. And, man, I want to take Moises, but I don't like the minus 245. And like I said, I just said, like Tajik Bey said, if it's gonna go, you think it's gonna go be close and go to decision, you might as well put the money on the plus money, right? So I'm gonna go out on a limb, not really, because half the cappers that I looked at for this show anyway are taking Joel Alvarez as well as I am. I mean, I may change my pick from this, but as of tonight, I'm going to take the plus 208 Joel Alvarez to win. He's got a 6-inch height and reach advantage. I think he can outpoint Moises. If Moises goes to the ground, I think both these guys, actually, I've heard, both of them have BJJ black belts. It wasn't confirmed with Alvarez, but I want to say maybe James Lynch or somebody I think said that Alvarez has a BJJ black belt as well as Thiago Moises. Moises, of course, the Brazilian fighting out of American Top Team. But Joel Alvarez, man, I just can't get over that 6-inch height, 6.5-inch reach, 4-1 in his last 5, only 2 losses, better record. I got it. I'm going to go with Alvarez here for the upset at plus 208. How can I not? I'm a plus money junkie. I love that plus money. Unfortunately, all these are boring decisions, but let's get into the recap. Time check. What time is it? I'm running at, perfect. I like to spend about 10 minutes per fight, so each one of my 3-fight shows lasts about a half hour. That's not too long, not too boring and drained out. Just get to the info. So anyway, to recap, I've got Dawun Zhang beating Kennedy Nzechukwu. I think he should be able to use his wrestling and keep that pace and cardio. He's got some pretty good forward pressure. I think he's got better fight IQ. Nzechukwu, I've seen him absorb shots just to do that whole, I'm going to tire you out and then I'm going to turn it on in round 2 and capitalize in round 3. I've seen him do that, and I don't think it's going to work against Jung. Jung's, I think, a better fight IQ, better overall well-rounded fighter here. Nzechukwu does have a path to victory if he keeps it standing and keeps it at distance, because he's got a pretty dominant, he's got a 4.5-inch reach advantage, so he could outpoint him and keep him at range, but I'm going to take Dawun Zhang to get the edge out the victory there by decision. Then I'm going to take Cast Iron Courtney Casey, 9-9, but I'm going to take her because she is making moves, and I don't know Liana, Jojua, I don't know any. Like I said, I looked at both these girls' Instagram pages. Liana Jojua's got a bunch of model pictures, and Courtney Casey's got pictures of her training with Casey Kinney, and she got pictures of her at MMA Lab in the gym, where Jojua does not. So, and Jojua hasn't really shown me anything that I watched that loss to Miranda Maverick. I had Miranda Maverick all day. No value there because she was a big favorite. But yeah, I'm gonna fade Jojua again. I think she might get cut from the UFC after taking a loss to 9-9 Courtney Casey. But Courtney Casey, like I said, those 9-9, don't let that record fool you. That was like my senior year of high school wrestling. This was like, I was a 500 wrestler in high school in my senior year before I wrestled at college. And so, and I mean, I don't think I was half bad. I wasn't half good either, though. 9-9, right? But anyway, Courtney Casey, you can't. Those 9 losses, they're against dominant, like females that are known throughout her division. So there's no shame in that. Courtney Casey should. That's not warranted. Don't get me wrong. Minus 235 is definitely not warranted. Do not put money on Courtney Casey. But you can. I'm gonna throw her in a parlay just cause that's what I do with every show. And I'm gonna take her on Tapology where you got to make a pick. I think she's gonna win by decision over Jojua. And finally, I'm gonna take the upset here. Reluctantly, but I don't know. I just like the whole height and reach advantage, and he's got a better record, and I heard he's got a black belt. I mean, and he's 4-1 in his last 5. I'm high on the kid a little bit. On Joel Alvarez, I think he might be able to get it done against Thiago Moises. The 15-5, minus 245 favorite. I don't think that's warranted. Alvarez at plus 208. Mark it down. I'm going to take that. So there you have it. I'm going to parlay all 3 of these picks. Alvarez, Casey, and Dawun Zhang. There's a 3-leg parlay for you. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place those bets and cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Go ahead and fill the comments with who you think is going to win these fights or any of the fights I did covered yesterday throughout the prelims. Tomorrow, I am hitting the road. I'm going to Masspath, which is right. I got to work in Queens, New York City, so I'll be staying in a hotel, Holiday Inn in Masspath. But I will still try to do some sort of content if the Wi-Fi is strong enough at the hotel. I may bring my travel board. I do have the research already started, so I might as well. But so hopefully you'll see me again tomorrow. Maybe I'll just, if worst comes to worst, I'll just do a live show fast with I've done it before with like BC Dave. Just hey, let's talk about these 3 fights. So anyway, tune into that. Even if it happens, I'll try. I'll give it a good try. Tune into that. Good luck on these bets. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Out.